Few rockers shocked quite like Kiss with their blood-spitting, fire-breathing, and stage pyrotechnics. And few bands are as instantly recognizable as their stellar back catalog. Kiss's black and white makeup is so iconic that even today's superstar performers, such as Taylor Swift, have copied their style. Yet the look preceded their first show in 1973, a 5-decade career, more than 100 million album sales, and crazy, crazy rock and roll lives. Bassist Gene Simmons, 75, who would go on to appear on the cover of Playboy and date Cher and Diana Ross, said the makeup came from nowhere on a chance trip to a one-stop shop that sold anything you want in New York. He and band members Ace Frehley, Paul Stanley, and Peter Criss decided for some strange reason that all of us would buy clown makeup, black lipstick and red lipstick and cheap mirrors for $15. We questioned, what would we look like in makeup? The makeup we put on that afternoon in New York City is pretty much the makeup we wore, except for slight changes. But you'd recognize it right away. Gene, famed for his long tongue and his demon stage look, has lofty views of the importance of their face paint. He asked, "Have you heard of Mount Rushmore?" "Yes." "But could you name who was on it?" "These are monuments that have been around for hundreds of years. Everybody knows them, but can't name them. And everybody knows what Kiss's faces look like, too. Even if you hate the band, people will go, 'Oh yeah, the guy with the tongue.' Anywhere you go. Even Taylor Swift and her band fully dressed in Kiss stuff. And Keith Urban, too. The band, whose hits included Crazy Crazy Nights and I Was Made for Lovin' You, called it a day in December on a farewell tour, which culminated at New York's Madison Square Garden. On a Zoom call to this newspaper, Gene, who grew up in Israel, spoke of his success opening doors he never imagined was possible. One pinch-me moment came for him when he was on the cover of Playboy magazine in March 1999. He proudly described himself as one of the only men to have ever done so. He was pictured with his mammoth tongue flailing out while flanked by bikini-clad women in bunny face paint. Gene, who reckons he has slept with close to 5,000 women, recalled fondly going to Hugh Hefner's Playboy mansion a number of times. He said, "The mansion was like going to a bakery when you're addicted to food. Generally speaking, you just go, 'Oh yeah, I want that over there.' It's where I met Shannon on my birthday in 1983. That was over 40 years ago. It was the craziest place." Shannon, who had lived at the mansion with other bunnies, was named Playmate of the Year in 1982. The couple have 2 kids together. Nicholas was born in 1989 and Sophie in 1992, and they eventually married in 2011. The family dynamic was famously aired on their hit reality TV show, Gene Simmons' Family Jewels, which had 7 seasons. Before Shannon, Gene's flame burned bright for fellow singer Cher, 78. He dated the Believe star for 3 years from 1977 and calls her his first love. He also went out with singer Diana Ross, now 80. He said, "Cher and Diana Ross were both spectacular women and still are. All I can say is I'm the luckiest guy in the world to have been in their lives for a short period of time. They're both alpha females who remain feminine. They are a good example to any little girl." Gene has a soft spot for the UK, and over Zoom belted out a short rendition of She's a Lady by Tom Jones, whom he has performed with in the past. But he could not resist mocking the British accent, sharing some dodgy impressions and taking aim at our supposedly wonky teeth and the size of pretty everything here. He said, "I first went to England in 75 and went to people's homes. I was shocked with how small the cars were, how small the steps were, and how low the ceilings were. Everything in America is big. The people are big, the cars are big, the families are big. But it was the tightness of our lifts compared to America's that sparked a particular memory." He recalled a scene from the hilarious 1984 mockumentary. "This is Spinal Tap when the fictitious band cannot find the stage." He said, "That's exactly what happened to Kiss in Newcastle. It was an old building. It might have been an opera house or something. The buildings were built such a long time ago they didn't make space for lifts. After so many years at Rock's coalface, Gene deserves a rest. But instead, apart from appearing on TV's American Idol with singer Katy Perry, he is also a successful entrepreneur in the drinks industry. Although not a drinker himself, his Moneybag brand has vodka and wine products, as well as the champagne of soda. He also tours globally with the Gene Simmons Band and dabbles in the world of books and public speaking. He added, "I have to say I'm probably the most fortunate guy. I'm aware every day that I'm happy that I'm Gene Simmons.